What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We're back with another umamusume video, and in today's video, we will be going over the new Uma that was released last night, Rulership, and that'll be pretty much it. We'll go over the comments right after, like per usual, for every banner overview video. So, yeah, that is pretty much gonna be the video. I didn't know how else to say it. But also, as you can see, they did put the Leo, I'll say Leo Cup. I had just finished recording Global. They had just finished putting the CM up on in the game. I think last night maybe, because it does start in like 3 days or so. So, I do need to start really trying my off-camera training, because they've been just normal. not too good. Not haven't really popped off yet, as you guys have most likely seen through my training. But we'll just see how it goes. Obviously I'm gonna have to train a lot, but today's video, like I said, we're just gonna go over the new Rulership banner, and then after that, we don't have a new support card, right? It's just this, which honestly, no. And there's this. I am still low. I just realized that. But I ain't gonna do any pulls whatsoever. I ain't gonna do any pulls or whatsoever. So here we are, Rulership. Before we do jump in, did I say it already? Ugh, whatever. I'm gonna say it again if I did say it already. Before we do jump in to the banner overview, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. But she kind of, in a way, her design kind of reminds me of her, not her, I guess more her hair just reminds me of Cheval Grand, right? Doesn't it kind of give you that vibe? Especially the hair. We might as well go take a look at Cheval right now while we're here. Ever still at 3-star? That's oh yeah, right here. Kind of right. Yes, I think Rulership does have a little bit more white highlights, but other than that, it's pretty similar. Eye color is fairly close. I think with Cheval being more on the bluish side, you kind of have Rulership on the grayish, but kind of with a blue tint in a way. I think it could just be gray. It could just be gray. Can we get a close up? It kind of has that bluish tint in a way. Hair is kind of similar, you know. I'm just here. Just it is what it is. It doesn't really. But what position? I wonder what position she is. Let's take a quick look. Oh. Okay. Wait, that's kind of. I wonder what her skill says, though. What her skills say that she will primarily be. Unless they're mostly neutral. If she ends up being chaser and whatever, when we like, damn it. I'm going to want her, but I can't. But it is what it is. So here we are, Rulership. At level 1, 3-star, 97 speed, 87 stamina, 97 power, 72 guts, and 97 wise. Level 5, 5-star, 119 speed, 106 stamina, 119 power, 88 guts, and 118 on wise. Going over her aptitude, she is a turf runner. Pretty much can run mile to long distance, and then apparently leader, betweener, and chaser viable. So whatever position between those three if you want. And then for her growth rate, 10% on stamina, power, and wise. All right. And then now going over the skills, starting off with the unique skill. Unrivaled tactics. If the start goes well, the Uma can stay slightly ahead for a long time. Or if it gets to a slow start and is at the back of the pack at the halfway points, its speed can increase dramatically. Huh. So her unique is either leader or chaser. That is funny. I feel like they could have just left it neutral if they wanted people to, if people wanted to use her as a betweener. I felt like they could have kept it just neutral that way. That way, people who wanted to use her as a betweener could use her as a betweener. At least that's what I'm thinking. But for me, it's like, dang, both leader and chaser. It's the two, it's the two positions where I'm pretty good with cards, I believe. At least as with what I have, I say I'm pretty good with cards. Obviously, I probably don't have a lot of the recent ones. But either way, this works out a lot for people who either will have works out. Well, I won't be surprised if people have a lot of leaders. So, that's quite interesting. I kind of like the fact that her unique caters either leader or chasers. Makes me want her more. It makes me want her more. Going over the innate skills, we have focus. Your start reaction time will slightly improve. Seize the chance for chaser long distance. At a random point in the first quarter of the final leg, if you're not in the front of the pack, your acceleration will slightly increase, which is interesting because considering that long distance is a B, but this is going to be the first time that we've seen something like this. And then the last one is strategist, between medium long distance. I don't know what I was about to say. If your base speed and power are both at least 1,000, they are both increased by 20. Now going over the awakening skills, we have putting it all on the line, or putting all on the line. If you're in the last spurt on the final straight, your speed will slightly increase. The effect is stronger if you have plenty of stamina left. Level 3 concentration. Your start reaction time is improved. At level 4, we have rising passion. For medium long distance, if you're in the middle of the pack during the first half of the final leg, you will get a slight speed boost. And then level 5, we have golden opportunity for chaser long distance. At a random point during the first quarter of the final leg, if you're not in the front of the pack, your acceleration will increase. I feel like a lot of these skills more cater towards, well, obviously it's chaser, but I feel like it kind of favors chaser just a little bit more. I think maybe it's just because of the gold skill, maybe. But now we have the evolve skills where we're going from concentration and it switches into a speed skill, which is quite interesting. So from concentration into, is this right? Let me see. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. I just had to make sure. The clever gambit and the conditions, or I should probably go over the skill first. In races of 2,000 meters to 2,500 meters. Oh, so not even so this evolve skill wouldn't even work for the current CM, which is, because the current CM is 36, right? Why am I unsure? That's the reason why we've been trying to go ham with the stamina, right? Yeah, 3,600. So both, I'm gonna say it now, both her evolve skills won't work for the CM. Which is quite weird because normally when they release Umas right before the CM or whatever, it's usually the case of releasing an Uma that can work for it. So for those people who want to pull for them, has like a few days to work on them. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. Did I read it again? In races of 2,000 meters to 2,500 meters, the Uma tends to be slow out of the gate for a longer period, but then its speed increases significantly for a short time towards the beginning of the middle of the race. So a slow start, given that you are going from concentration, who gives you a better startup reaction, so you slow down because I guess it is called the clever gambit, right? So you're taking a gamble on the fact that you're gonna catch up in the middle, right? I guess this kind of feels like it might be more appropriate as a chaser, but I don't know. For the conditions, win at least, or win any G1 races 3 times, or get at least 3 speed type skills in the second one, have at least 800 Ys. And then the second one from Golden Opportunity into Assault Trick. Same thing from in 2,000 meters to 2,500 meter races. Acceleration increases significantly early in the final stages. Furthermore, in medium distance races, if a Uma overtakes another Uma in the latter half, it can move slightly ahead for leader and chasers. And the conditions, have at least 800 power, and the second one, get at least 3 skills for leader or chasers. So this one gets a boost if it's medium distance. It's a whole mix. It's a whole mix. Because, yeah, 2,500 meters is like the low end when it comes to long distance. But to specifically put medium distance here is kind of interesting. Her skills are interesting because of what she's... I don't know. Would I still pull for her? Maybe. But not at all right now. And then there's no sport banner. I think if I were... Did I already go over this? I think I did. I think I would have just simply went for speed cards, honestly. Either Air Groove or... Actually, maybe even... would I go for the Fenomeno? No. Maybe the Fine Motion just to finish it off. Maybe, but I don't normally pull in these banners anyway, so it is what it is. But other than that, that is pretty much it for the main part of the video. Now we can go and focus on the comments, which isn't much. So this will be the be a shorter video than how the videos are normal when it comes to like the training videos. So yeah, I'm gonna start going over the comments. If you guys want to stick around for the comments, feel free to do so. If not, especially if you didn't comment in the last video, totally understandable. So with that being, and if you guys want me to go over your comments in future videos, just leave a comment down below as long as it's appropriate. I'll go over it, and it could be about anything really. That's why I said as long as it's appropriate, like I said. If I deem it inappropriate, I'll probably just acknowledge the fact that you commented it. But if I don't think it's appropriate, we'll go over it. But with that being said, let me start going over the comments, starting off with... let me refresh just to be sure. Yeah, it's just pretty much these 4 comments with a reply. First comment is going to be from Nova. It's the only comment from Nova. I think he's just chilling, doing one comment at a time before he starts going back to his usual. It says, lurking in the comments day 2. Well, just finished the Enfield story, and boy, that was a banger. It's like I said, Enfield story has been good. I like how they've been delivering their story. It does give a different vibe from the usual like Hoyo or like the usual way they would end like a chapter or whatever. Not all that. It just feels although of course there are still the similarities, it just has that different vibe to when it comes to their story, at least. Same thing with NTE, same thing with all that, but even with the similarities, I just like how it still stands out on its own right, you know. It still has its own presence and all that. It's not like it's been overshadowed by the fact there's a lot of similarities between these games and how the stories take place. I genuinely think Enfield does give me a different vibe when it comes to the story when I play it. So that is much appreciated as a guy who likes story. Same thing with NT, with the whole different, obviously, setting and vibes and how their direction is, even with, you know, it's kind of like anime. You have all these animes who pretty much look at one or a few animes and try to make their own from that, right? And generally, people will like that. People will be like, oh, it's still the same. It kind of gives that same feeling and all that. But then it's still enjoyable, right? Like, we look at all these big main shonen animes, shonen action animes, to be more precise. You know, you kind of get the same sense of like, oh, there's a lot of similarities, but then you kind of get the ones that kind of just stand out. They kind of just stand on their own right, you know. So yeah, just kind of think of that way when it comes to comparing, I guess, games and all that. There's always going to be similarities, but there's also going to be differences. And if those differences are strong enough to make it stand out, those are the ones I truly appreciate. As you can see, I haven't necessarily given too much praise to like Genshin and all that, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. The background music and the fights just hit harder here. It did. I think you'll enjoy it. Wait, I already finished it. Didn't you see me post it? What? I literally posted it over the weekend. What do you mean? And didn't you hear me talking about that I finished it on Monday's video? And then Friday, didn't you hear me say that I was gonna do it? Huh? I finished it. It's been up. It's been up, Nova. And I believe Asa even made a comment on it. Did I go over it? I think it's safe to go over it now, right? So I'm gonna go there. Okay. I may have done a slight cut there. I did say I was gonna go over the comment. But the reason why I don't want to go over the comment, or go over the comment now, there's a slight cut. I know there is, because I did say the comment, but then I realized, because I took a glimpse of, I did see a little bit of Eugen's comment, and I did see it sounded like maybe Eugen will maybe give it a shot as an Enfield. Maybe. So I don't entirely want to go over Asta's comment. Asta, let me just let you know this. I don't know if I went over it on Monday's video, but just considering what you wrote there, I agree. This is my response to it. I agree that whatever you said there is true. That's what I think also. But I don't want to go into deeper detail of my response because it'll give it away. But the problem, we'll see how, if Eugen is gonna give it a shot or not first before I go into the story. But we'll see. We'll see. But I will just say thank you also for the comment. I do appreciate it. But continuing on with Nova's comment, I think I shed a tear in one of the scenes. Even though I got Arcane from pity, I think it's worth it. Her personality really shined through this time around, and I think that made it worth to get her. As for her team, I did read that she can support Cryo. Yes, she can. I am just missing Tong Tong and my Yvonne team at the moment. I don't intend to use her as a main DPS for now. I gotta say that playing both WoW 3.5 story and this made me a bit confused sometimes. It feels like the Chinese aesthetics really come through with these games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chinese aesthetics came through with these two games, considering where the developers are mainly from, or the creators. So, yeah. Now let's see how this NT story gonna go. I expect absolute cinema. I personally enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed it. I'll let you figure it out. That's the reason why I didn't go in full detail on me going over NT stories, because just like Enfield, I had started. I didn't start Enfield last week. I started 2 weekends ago. I forgot. But we got an NTE at that same time. So you should have already been aware that I was going to post the updated story of Enfield as soon as possible, which I did, which is my normal a day later. Sometimes I do post it same day, but or not same day, within the 24 hours, but it's usually the day after. But let's see. I think the part that got me was the Arcane backstory, basically. When I don't want to go into full detail, like I said, until we get clarification from Eugen whether or not that if he's gonna start playing or not. So since it's the most recent part of the story, I don't want to essentially spoil it. So I'm gonna have to dig through, kind of remember where I want to do that cut. But yeah, I mean, generally, first impression of Arcane, I liked their, I liked her from the start. Design, her personality kind of just falls along a lot of the other characters in different games or even anime characters that I kind of like. That I like, that kind of, but that I like, so that kind of played a factor. Her design is really nice, in my opinion. And for those who love Fang Yi, in my personal opinion, I like Arcane a lot more than Fang Yi when it comes to design. My personal opinion. But to go with the team, I did decide to slap her onto my Fang Yi team. I remove, who did I remove? Who did I remove? I think she might have worked though if I had left her. Now that I think about it. I'm trying to figure out her name. Holy huge. Akakuri. The 5s? 4? 4-star? 4-star character, because she does no, I pretty much went with Perlica, Fang Yi, and Arclight and then Arcane. And as of right now, first things first, let me clear this up. I did not build Arcane as a support, even though I wanted to, mainly because I had already built her as a main DPS. So kind of right now I have 2 main DPSs. And I'm making it work. Somehow, some way I'm making it work. At least with like just like the regular domain stuff, like farming for essence, farming for having those ascension materials or whatever for their whatever, basically essentially like the Forte stuff in Wuwa in a way. But yeah, it's been working. I haven't tried it in like the harder stuff, so that would probably be the biggest test. But as of right now, for me, just wanting to play around and use Arcane, I essentially don't mind having her with how it is right now, because having Fang Yi alone already does stupid amount of damage. Arcane does a stupid amount of damage also. So for me, just wanting to just go through my dailies and overworld stuff and just side missions and everything, I think I'm gonna just use this for now. It just feels fun because I get to use Arcane, still keep using Fang Yi. Although I could do the same thing and slap her onto the Levantine team, I'll most likely remove I think I might end up removing Perlica this time around, because Perlica was there, and then just put Arcane there. So I don't know. I'm kind of just enjoying it like this. I am though. It's not like I'm not on the side building or trying to farm stuff for her support build. But at the moment, I'm kind of just what am I doing? I'm still trying to at least max out her forte for. I'm just gonna call it forte because I don't know what's called in Enfield. So that would require me getting all the materials for like the plants and those boss drops. I guess they're called boss drops, right? Like the purple square, you know what I'm talking about. But essentially, yeah. Until I get that done for Arcane, I'll start farming for the supports build or the will build for Arcane to make her into a support. I could use her with cryo if I do build last right, but I'm fine with what I'm doing right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Tanoki responded and says, "You're alive," but he's been commenting just once. He did comment yesterday, so didn't Tanoki also comment yesterday on that other video? Nova commented there too. I guess maybe Tanoki just missed out on it. Maybe. Maybe. But thank you, Nova and Tanoki. Appreciate it as always. Next comment, last comments are going to be from Eugen. Okay, train along video is Chronos, though I was about to use parents inclined to long distance. I decided to use medium red factor since I have many updated long distance umas for team challenges. Indeed, the 2 races are meant to lose unless skills need to be applied in order to win and stats cope with it. Okay, so generally I am meant to just lose those races. Is that what you're saying? Because even when I put skills in it way before, when I would continuously train her before, when I was using her a lot more, she just kept losing those races majority of the time, and I'm just there like, do we just not win this race? But then I would win once in a while. I'm just like, and I would have clean runs, and I'm just like, well, I don't entirely know how I feel about that. But if you say those are meant to lose races, then so be it. It's kind of like, I guess, essentially training Smart Falcon, because she has she does have a turf race, even though she is mainly a dirt runner, right? The Satsuki show, right? The first of the Triple Crowns, and then after that, she just doesn't do any more dirt races or turf races. So is it just pretty much like that, where you're meant to lose? Because I feel like that was more intentional than this one, because you're still given a B, right? I think a B in mile distance for Chrono. But we just like intentionally lose to, was it Gran Alegria? Something like that? I think that's the one you primarily lose in that matchup. It's not like when we're training Biwa, her debut race is mile distance, but Biwa has a D, if I'm not mistaken, on her mile distance. If I'm not mistaken, it's either D or C. I just know it's down there for her. And then I think it's a C. And then for her debut race is a mile distance. And then after that, her others, I think she has like, I think her first 2 races, debut and probably the Asahi High, are her first 2 races. So do you just lose the debut race, then just redo the debut race? Or do another debut race, or not, do another race to get out of debut part, and then lose the Asahi? Because when I was training B a long time ago, I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept that. I think the same thing with Rudolph. So, yeah, it is what it is, though. So result ended up in the US 4 with 2280, 1610, 1488, 1194, and 1708. Dang, that's I don't think I've reached. I think I have in the last scenario, but recently I don't think my wise has been kind of low. Stats with a total of 9107 SP. Got 67 learned skills, including 13 rare evolved skills, and I was not able to get third event on almond speed. I believe you got higher stats than me in stamina and guts, but somehow pumped my power using 3-speed friendship with extra SP bonus. So time for me to properly train long distance CM. Current options is Twin Turbo S Oshi Main Runner. It's a given with you. Then any of these Umas Kiseki, Mayoneko, Summer McQueen, and Mekabiwa. Though I want to include Mikita, but I don't have her. Well, then you can't unless you get her. Well, those are good options to have between those last ones. And I think you have some pretty good placeholders too, right? For that third spot. For the, I guess, second and third spot, because it's just turbo. Or, I guess you're not using Cinderella Grey anymore? If she's not on here? Unless you're still holding on Cinderella Grey, and then any of these options are the third spot. But regardless, moving on. For NTE, I'm done with the Beyond the Rails, and also for the Pawpaws. I guess we're calling it Pawpaws. I do still call it Pawpaws randomly. So since it's the 2x event for getting fonts, so I only made 2 runs to get 1 mil max fonts. Oh. So that means you got 250k each run, because then if it doubled, then 500k each. 250k. I know I've gotten 200k. I don't know if I've gotten 250. I think I have, maybe. Like my best one. I actually don't know my highest. I just know it's over 200k. Because all the times I've tried going against, I feel like when I try to go against Mammon, I feel like I mistime it. Essentially because I try to get as much as I can prior. Because the last time I kind of I cut it close, so it is what it is. But even without Mammon, I could reach 200k normally. We'll continue to farm some buttons so I can get the remaining skins and prepare amount needed for Iori once it's unlocked. Same goes for the weekly stamina, and I already used it for the rest of the week. The weekly stamina? You already use it all? Why? It's not double. I don't get it. Because essentially you just... It's literally just... Well, I guess for me, it's just Tuesday. So it's kind of weird that you would already use most of your weekly stamina, considering that if you're doing deliveries, there's a chance to get that. At least for me, I believe your highest should be the same, 48,000 or 40. I usually do it. It's either 40k or 48k. I'll do it, and then I'll just hold off until the end of the very last day before weekly reset. And if I do have leftovers when it comes to the city stamina, I'll just do the Uber there. That's my weekly city stamina, because I feel like I get more that way. At least that's how I feel. I still haven't finished the cafe thing either. I haven't touched it in a while. I'll be honest. After doing those funds related rewards, having 8 mil at my disposal, I bought the Fangland property. Whoa! You bought it before I did. The anomaly cat were upgraded to max level 10, and I'm broke now. Did try to tour around with my new mansion, and I'm a little bit lost. I have seen it is big. Of course, I've moved then Lacrimosa, Hattori, Shinku, all banner characters, so I have 2 slots remaining, and Iori will be next. The rest are scattered, and Chaos still in solo apartment, unless another dude comes into the fray. I need to save again at least a 3 mil, because I need to upgrade the Porsche, and it isn't very expensive for the mission of Tycoon level. That requires spending an upgrade at a certain amount. Once I complete that, I will get Tycoon level 45, since I already done the other requirements. I'm not doing any upgrades to the Porsche or any cars. Not yet. Not yet. Reason being, well, there's still the mansion. There's still another car to buy. There's still future things to spend. Like future, I guess, car banners that we'll end up pulling for. So I'm kind of like, well, the Porsche was already better than my GTR that I already had. So do I need to upgrade? If the Porsche is still fast, do I really need it to be faster right now? No. So I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna hold off on the car upgrades because I don't think they're necessary at all at the moment. That's how I feel. There's a lot of other things that I feel are more important for me that needs to be purchased before I start upgrading the cars. That's it for that. So the last comment from Eugen says, until when the arcane banner, so I will have an idea if I give it a try, if I can get her on that game. If not, well, at least I tried and not for me. Can you tell me about how the gameplay works, like the fighting mechanics? Is it similar to NTE Zenless? Hoyo's that swaps characters in a team. Well, Zenless is Hoyo, but to be frank, I can say I like some part of the story, like Qingyi, the small green hair robot. Oh, we're going back to Zenless here. But the Caledon is much exciting part, more in the climax if you ask me on that arc. Then on Miyabi part, the rest is just like okay. But not sure in the latter part where Billy's shown again, because I believe Billy gave that kind of spice feeling on the plot. Good to see that you have another good stuff you have bought from an Anime Expo. Envy. The newer stuff, no, the other stuff wasn't from Anime Expo. The ones I showed from the box. This box, the sweet box. Yes, Anime Expo. Although I do still have stuff that will come in through the mail because it was on pre-order. I don't know if I mentioned that. But they do have a online the things I bought with the Cinderella Gray acrylic that I showed and the Rover, the Rover acrylic and other stuff that I probably didn't show was from a store called Animate. They do have a global site, so you can go check out what they have. Maybe they have something you want. Who knows? Who knows if you want to buy something, I guess, but that's just what it is. It's funny how you mentioned literally season 1 and then pretty much just the end of season 2. Or see, I guess maybe the end of season 2 / the beginning of season 3. Nothing about Phylum Heights. Nothing about Xiao Guang or the Angels of Delusions. I could say it's just hilarious. It's like, yeah, I remembered the first part when I started playing, and then the whole middle of me trying to keep up with the game just no. That's what it sounded like. But Arcane Banner should be around for about 3 more weeks. Obviously I want to say obviously, but I guess it depends on the server you're playing, but essentially about 20 days, 19 days. So there's still time. Although if you're starting to play, yeah, you would probably want to start as soon as possible, considering the story and all the thing, and the story and all that. Yeah, just pretty much a story, and possibly all the other things that you would have to do, as in the factories. That would probably be maybe the one. I guess you could be fine if you just take blueprints, but there's other aspects in this game. I feel like you might like it, considering that apparently if me and Nova thinks a game is simple, it doesn't translate well to you. So I think you'll do fine. I think you'll be fine. As for the gameplay, I mean, you could pretty much expect it to be kind of similar to what you know. Even if I were to think about Zenless, I mean, it's still kind of similar. You're still, I guess you could say, Between Zenless and NTE, I would say closer to NTE, I guess. I guess. Because essentially, you're still kind of doing the same thing. You're fighting, dodging, pressing your skills. Not really essentially skipping characters, though, because for me, primarily, Enfield's a little bit different where you could activate skills or you could activate reaction skills or whatever. I don't know what they're called. I'm just going off by what I call it as I see it. But skills that the other character skills while still being on the character you're on, and then also you could still activate all their ults while still remaining in one character. So I feel like there's a lot of flexibility there in a way also. But if endgame is important to you, that new one, even for me, honestly, whoop my ass. So for me, I don't essentially, at least for Enfield, I just want to enjoy the game. I'll do whatever I can for the end games, but I'm not gonna pull my hair and be all pissy about it. That the fact that I can't clear it. If I can't clear it, I can't clear it. I'm just gonna accept it. I'm just gonna accept it because I probably can if I did probably essentially build all my characters up still. Because like I said, my gear are not all artificed and all my essences aren't all fixed up. So there's that. But it still got me this far and I'm still enjoying the game. So that's all that really matters, right? But yeah, if you want to get started, I would say get started as soon as possible. That way you can get through the story, get all the currency you can to pull for Arcane and get used to the game. And I guess maybe even see if you like the flow of the game. I mean, that's pretty much the only way you'll figure out if you're going to keep playing it or not, right? Nova gives games 6 months. I don't know how long you would give game. I give a game a few months, like 3. The reason why is like 6 months is a good point also, because you get half the year. You get to see how they build up the game for half the year and essentially see how they handle big events. So half Hanny. Although generally I'm fine. But yeah, if you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. I ain't gonna stop you. Like I said, Enfield's a good game. I think most of the complaints people have that I've mentioned is mainly due to the lack of events. I don't think I've heard complaints about the cost of the gacha, but honestly, that's my only complaint. Only because then compared to the other games, it's stupid high. But at the same time, the gacha itself has been pretty nice to me, considering that I've only been pulling for select characters that I only want to pull for. So it is what it is. So other than that, the story, in my opinion, is good. Characters are likable and all that. Honestly, the aesthetics are really nice also. And the story, in my opinion, is good. So go for it if you want. And then let me refresh one more time. And Tanoki had responded. Thank you, Hugin, for the comment. Appreciate it as always. And now we're going to go over Tanoki's. First one says, Shushu recording. Second one, this CM going to be such a crap fest to kind of tone it down a bit. I'm committing to running 3 runners, even though I've got perfectly viable leader parents. Hey, you do you, Tanoki. You do you, Tanoki. It's like I said this whole time, just run whoever the heck you want to. Run whoever the heck you want to. We got Eugen, who's always be running turbo. We got me, who's always trying to get Kita or Cap into most of these races. So it's fine. Use whoever you want. Use whoever you want. I ain't gonna stop you. If that's how you want to play, that's how you want to play. As long as you're having fun yourself, that's all that matters. But other than that, thank you, Tanoki. Thank you, Eugen. Thank you, Nova. And also, I guess Asta, because I did technically go over, but I do have to cut it out. But I did mention it and responded to it. So thank you, Asta, for that response in the Enfield video. And then I guess I don't need to thank Tanoki for replying to Nova's comment because I already thanked them for commenting and all that. But other than that, thank you guys for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. And with that being said, that's going to be the end of this video. So if you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let me know how you guys did in this. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking global, but let me know how you guys are doing with your training. That's what I should be just saying for the upcoming CM. Who you guys are bringing. Are you guys pulling for rulership, or are you just going to skip because of the upcoming possible summer banner, or maybe even just the half annie in general would probably be the best excuse to not pull for anything right now. So if there's anything else you want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. As always, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.